Good evening, Steve. Wanted to ask you just about the good and the difficulty you have as a USA basketball coach when you have to tell some of your players they made it, others that they did not, and the challenge of that and the joy of that, but also specifically with Chris and his injury, if there's an update on him and as secondary, and how did he end up? What helped him get on the list?
Yeah, so it's a difficult part of the job. There's so many worthy players, throughout the league, and obviously only 12 guys are going to make up the team. So, Grant Hill and Sean Ford and I have been talking about this for months and putting together a list, and the list includes a lot, really, great players up and down. But there's part of it too is there's a USA basketball bent to it. So all of the guys on the World Cup team last year who've been in the program, we wanted them on that list, and former Olympians, gold medalists, people with FIBA experience, like we wanted those guys on the list, and it's no matter, and we knew this as the list was being formed. No matter what we were going to do, there were going to be omissions. It's almost impossible. I think it is impossible to not have, some people who are upset, and we acknowledge that. And but it's a difficult process, but it's made difficult because we have so many talented players in this league who are absolutely worthy of being on the national team, but only so many spots.
And then in terms of your guys, how did you tell Steph and CP, and then also how did you tell Draymond and Klay?
Yeah, I mean, just conversations. Told them about the process and how it was going to play out, and so I've talked to all three of those guys here in the last couple of weeks, and so they were aware of what was transpiring as the list came out.
Steve, you were kind of just looking over at the screen with Deki's face on it, and I mean, really, for the past 3 days, we've been asking, or I guess 2 days, we've been asking you about how you expect the emotions to be tonight. Mm-hmm. But now, being here, seeing the signage, wearing the shirts, knowing how you guys are going to pay tribute to him, just what are you telling your guys, and what are the emotions right now?
Well, it's very emotional just to walk into the building for the first time on a game night without Deki, and obviously we're all wearing our shirts, and there's images of him with his ever-present smile, and it's very emotional because it's all still very very raw and surreal in a lot of ways. So. We've been practicing the last few days, and there's not a whole lot to say to prepare for something like this. You just dive in head first and stick together and go try to win a basketball game and honor our brother.
There was so much going into this season prior to this incident with rotations, your record, playing time, all that. Did this potentially provide perspective within the team as far as the little things not maybe mattering as much as the bigger picture? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean we talk about perspective all the time here, and how lucky we are to do what we do, and how our problems aren't real problems. But something like this just hammers that point home. You can't really have perspective until you feel it personally. You can try, you can convince yourself, and I think we do that. And I think it's important to try to do that, to recognize that people are struggling around the world, and there's famine and wars going on, and we acknowledge all of that. But when you have a death in the family, in the group, it definitely has a way of making everything seem minuscule and unimportant. At the same time, this is what we do, and so you're trying to find that balance that a good perspective has. We should still go out and compete and do everything we can to win the game because that's what we do. And but you have the perspective that goes along with that.
Yeah, I was kind of wanting to flip side that, it is kind of a big week for you guys. You got 4 games, I think, in the next 6 nights, trade deadline coming up, standings race. How prepared do you feel like this team is to jump right back into what, is a pretty vital stretch of the schedule?
I think the guys are ready to get back on the floor, and it's been a week, and we would not have been ready those first 2 games that were postponed. And so it's time. It's time to get back out there, and our guys, they're going to be ready to play. And, we know we've got half the season left and still time to salvage the season and get things turned around, and that's the plan.
Oh, hi, Steve, Coach. It is from China Median, 直播吧. And my question is, we all know this hard week, but what is your fondest memories with the Coach Dejan, and any particular moment that when you think about him and that will warm your heart?
A lot of great memories with Deki. He's been here 2.5 years, and winning that championship with him the first year and celebrating with him, and those are great memories. And when you're on a team, when you're on a staff, it's really an everyday thing. Where you're just together. You really do feel like family, and so the beauty of Deki was just the consistency of his approach. The smile is perfect. He was constantly smiling and laughing. Had a great outlook on life, and he loved life. He loved the people around him. He loved his family. He loved the team, and I looked forward to seeing him every single day.
Hey, Steve, a big change for you guys this season is that you're toward the very bottom of the league in both opponents' turnover rate and then percentage of points scored via fast break. Are you guys looking to improve in those areas going forward, or are they just more a reflection of kind of your identity this
Talking
season?
about our turnovers?
Opponents' turnover rate and then points scored via fast break for you guys.
For us, yeah. We have not turned people over. We have not generated easy baskets, and that's been a big problem. We haven't been efficient when we are in transition, which was also a problem last year. These are all things that we'd like to do better, and we're constantly trying to improve in a lot of the different areas where we've struggled, for sure. Thanks.